Today, I thanked the rain as it hid my tears I wanted to hide from everyone, he said as he sat on the bench of a park which he saw while walking. He sat there and cried as much as he wanted, without making any expression on the face, to not let people know that he is crying. He wanted to be in a fresh environment, so he went out, and the weather was also in his favor. Rain kept pouring on him until a moment came where he felt no raindrops. He thought that the rain had stopped, so he looked upwards but saw a transparent umbrella right above him. He looked at the person who was holding it and saw a girl whose beauty couldn't be explained by him. He saw her and just kept seeing her. She snapped her fingers across his face, which made him come to senses. Fine. Your tears are clearly visible. Don't try so hard to hide them. Jungkook, who are you? Get away from here. She, instead of leaving, sat beside him on the bench and looked at him. Jungkook, what are you doing? Vine gestured at the umbrella. Hold this. Hold this for us. My arm is going to break. Jungkook held it in a hurry as he said, Look. Vine cut him out, saying, Wow. Just look at the lightning and the clouds. It's so beautiful. Don't you love it? Jungkook, hear me out, okay? You. Fine. Ah! My feet are all ruined because of this rain. Jungkook was furious on her, for she didn't let him speak a word. Vine knew that he was gonna send her off, so she didn't let him speak, but instead kept trying to distract him. Fine. I hate rain, Jungkook. But you just said that the weather is so beautiful. Vine. I talked about the sky that is beautiful. I don't like the rain at all. It made my shoes and socks all wet again. She made a pout looking at her feet, which made Jungkook smile while looking at her. She noticed it, so she became happy as she said, Whoa, did you just smile? Jungkook realized it too, so he fake coughed and got to know what she was trying to do. Jungkook, hey, just go away from here before I do something, or I get away myself. Fine. Okay. I will go, but with you. You will hold the umbrella. Jungkook, why me? Fine, because you're taller. Jungkook, just take it. I don't need it. Vine suddenly groaned in pain, for he asked, What happened? Vine, my arms. My arms hurt so much. I worked out yesterday and they're so sore now. I can't even lift them. Jungkook looked at her with his anger at peak, but at the same time he didn't want to leave her in pain. So he just said, Let's go fast then. Fine, yes, thank you. On the way, Jungkook didn't say anything. Vine finally broke the ice as she said, Why were you crying? Jungkook would never answer that question to any stranger, but he just told her everything. He needed someone to share his grief, but he had no one. Still, he would never trust a stranger, but rather take it all that happens to him. But something just made him tell Vine everything. Something was different about her. Vine, you're lost again? Maybe I shouldn't have asked that. Jungkook, my mother died. Jungkook, she was the only one I loved in this whole world. The only person. And she died too. Now I'm all alone. I don't know what to do except trying. I don't think I'll be able to live anymore. She was my everything. Vine became seriously worried for him when he said he doesn't want to live. Fine. The world will still go on. I didn't want to believe it too when my father died. He was everything I had. But watching him in my dreams, or considering that he will be watching me from above, gives me hope to keep living. Fine. It gives me the hope to keep getting better and better in what I do and enjoy my life as hard as I can because that's the only way to make them happy from here. Vine's words were really comforting to him. It gave him the hope to live, to enjoy life. Jungkook looked at Vine and said, "You're really strong. I don't think I can do that." Vine, "That's because your wound is still fresh. It will take some time to heal, but it will heal. Don't worry." She smiled as she said that, looking in Jungkook's eyes, which made him fall in love with her. Jungkook, "Will you help me heal it?" Vine, "What?" Jungkook, Nothing." Before he could say anything further, she said, "Oh, that's my house. Thank you so much. You can have that umbrella, and yeah, consider what I said. Good night." Jungkook, "Oh yeah, thank you." She closed the door immediately, as if it was nothing for her to talk to a stranger and comfort him, as if she does that daily, making others happy, but no one knows how hurt she is from inside. Jungkook also went home, but he knows that he will never be the same again after his encounter with Vine. He laid down on the bed, looking at the ceiling. He remembered Vine's words that were to keep living, because that's the only way to make them happy. He smiled, remembering Vine's cute face, and then slept after a few minutes. A peaceful sleep he had that comes only after crying. Next day, Vine woke up and got ready to go to her work. She opens the door and sees Jungkook approaching her while waving his hand. "Vine, what are you doing here?" Jungkook kept coming closer to her until she had to take steps back from him. Her back hit the wall and she looked at him in his dark black eyes. Jungkook leaned against the wall to match her height. "Jungkook, how are you? I came here to take you." Vine, "Take me where?" Jungkook, "My home." Vine, "Why? Why would I go with you?" Jungkook, "What do you mean? Don't you like me too? Last night, you tried your best to make me smile. You must be in love with me, aren't you?" Vine, "Oh, that. That was just because you looked sad, and I wanted to comfort you. That's all. There's nothing like love." Jungkook, "Oh." He stood straight, "But you made me fall in love with you. What would you do about it?" Vine, "What? Nothing, of course. What can I do?" Jungkook, "Come with me to my house. I'll make you the happiest woman on the earth." Vine, "Why would I?" "Because I love you." Vine, "This is not how it works. I don't love you at all. I'm not going anywhere with you." Vine started walking her way after saying what she had to, but Jungkook couldn't accept this. He held her wrist and pinned her to the wall again and said, "I said you're coming with me. I can't live without you. Can't you understand?" Vine, "Leave me. I don't care if you can live without me or not. I don't want to go with you." Vine was resisting him all she could, so Jungkook picked her up in bridal style and put her in his car. He started driving to his house, despite Vine screaming to let her go. "Fine. You can't do this to me. This is clearly kidnapping. I'll call the police." She took her phone out of her handbag, but before she could dial the number, Jungkook snatched the phone from her hand and said, "Jungkook, you will only be embarrassing yourself because all the police is under my control, baby. Only you're left. So accept me fast before I go to extremes to make you mine." "Fine. I will never accept you. You say you love me? You're forcing me. This is clearly obsession, not love." Jungkook, "It might be an obsession, but you can call it my way to show you my love." "Fine. You're crazy. Give me my phone back." Jungkook, "That, I admit it too. I've been crazy since I saw you, talk to you, especially your smile. I can't take it off my mind." Vine didn't say anything, but instead regretted that she met him and felt bad about him, and that she comforted him. She thought that she shouldn't have done that. There's no one who would return the favor, same as it was once served. Vine was lost in her thoughts that they reached his house. She had a tear falling from her eye while being lost in her thoughts, but she came back to senses when he said, "We're here, baby." She looked at his house and asked, "Is this your house?" Jungkook, "Of course. Where else would I take you?" "Fine. But I thought you don't even have enough money to buy an umbrella." Sorry. He laughed as he said, "Do I really look like someone who is that poor?" "Fine. You did last night. You were wearing night clothes with washroom slippers and didn't even have an umbrella during that intense pour. So I thought, but not now." Jungkook, "What do you think now?" "Fine. I think you're a billionaire. Gosh, that house is really big." Jungkook, "Do you want to look inside?" "Fine. Of course." "Oh, I mean no. Why would I go inside your house?" He came outside of the car and went to Vine's side. He opened the door of the car and leaned against it as he said, "Just come. It's not like I'm letting you go that easily." Vine didn't come outside but kept asking him to let her go. Jungkook, "Do you want me to pick you up again and take you all the way there?" "Fine. Why are you doing this?" Jungkook, "How many times I need to tell you that? It's getting irritating now." "Fine. I won't come. Do whatever you want." To be continued.